Hey there, and thanks for tuning in to this tutorial on how to edit using WeVideo. In a previous tutorial, we already covered how to get media into WeVideo using your cell phone in the Google Drive app. So in this video, we're going to focus mostly on how to edit in WeVideo. Now the first thing I want to show you is how to get to a more advanced layout for your editing. If you click over here on the main menu section, you'll see that over on the left hand side there's two layouts, storyboard mode and timeline mode. Storyboard mode looks like this. It's the default that WeVideo will load unless you said that you're an expert video editor, in which case it may have loaded the other one. But this is a very simple, I think it's too simple to actually make videos the way you want to. The way it works is you just drop things into these boxes and it just sort of puts it in order. But you don't have very much control over those items once you put them in those boxes, like adjusting the length or putting multiple things on the screen at the same time. It's very difficult to do. So I actually find timeline mode to be, although it's supposedly advanced, to be actually much easier. So click over here on the main menu, click on timeline mode, and it will change your view so that you have multiple tracks down here. Now the way video editing works is you're going to want to select some media, either a picture, a soundtrack like an audio file, or a video, and you want to drag it from the window up here onto your timeline in the appropriate spot. So I have this video of penguins up here, so I'm going to click it, drag it, and I'm going to drag it down to my main track. You want to keep most of your stuff on the main track and only put different items on the video or audio track when it's necessary. So if I were to play this video now, you'll see you have my video. Let me put the sound on. It has a soundtrack. And you'll notice that the video is about 46 seconds long. Now in the main section here, I can adjust this video. So let's say I only want the first 10 seconds. I can click at the end and I can trim this down to about 10 seconds. The other thing that you can do is, let's say I want the first 5 seconds and the last 2 seconds, but not those things in between. I can drag my timeline over to, let's say about 7 seconds. I can click on these scissors right here. It's going to cut this track in two, and now I can drag the part that I don't want out, and I only have the two parts that I want. So that's how the timeline works. Now let's say I have another video. I'm going to drag it down here. It will appear right after. Now when I click play, I'll start it at about 5 seconds. You'll see I have the first part of my video. It will cut to that part I trimmed, and then it will go to a brand new video. It's the first part to the part I trimmed, and now to a whole new video. So that's how the timeline mode works. I can make this video short too, do whatever I need to do. The other thing that you're going to want to know how to do is how to use the tracks above. With the video editing, the higher the track is, the more priority it gets. So if I was going to take this picture of penguins and drag it down here, because it's on the track that's on top, this will be visible before the tracks underneath it will be visible. So let's watch and see what it looks like. So see in my video, and then about 2 seconds in, you're going to see it cut to a picture.
Is already giving way to the long
There's the picture there. Now notice how the picture appears on top, but because it doesn't take up the whole screen, you can still kind of see the video in the background. That's how it works. So when you have multiple tracks that have things at the same time, the priority will be given to the track that's on top. Let's talk about editing some photos. So let's say this picture here, I want it to take up the whole screen. I don't want to see the waterfall in the background. I have a couple of options. I could open this picture up in like an image editor, and I could crop it so that it's more of a square, so it fits up and it would take up the whole screen. That's kind of a time-consuming process. I'd have to edit it, then re-import it into WeVideo, then re-drag it onto the screen. Something else I can do is I can double-click this video and open up the image editing panel up here. I can type a caption, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to click on transform. Now I have some options here. I can click fit screen or fit frame. See here, fit frame. It then makes it fit so it fills up the whole screen. I can also click down here on scale and adjust the pictures to make it bigger or smaller. So let's say I just want to hit fit frame. I'm going to drag it so that all the penguins are in the frame. I can click done editing. Now when I come over here to my video, See how the image of the penguins takes up the whole screen now without having to do any editing. Something else you can do with images that's pretty cool is you can cause them to move. It's called the Ken Burns effect. And you do that by double-clicking the image and then choosing animation. What I want to do is I want to set what I want the picture to look like when it first comes onto the screen. I'm going to make this one really small. And then you can set it to what you want it to look like at the end of the screen. And I'm going to make it, big and drag it down to the corner here. What's going to happen is while this picture's on the screen, it's going to start really small and it's going to zoom in and kind of slide across the screen because that's what I set the animation to do. So let's watch.
To the long winter night.
Here's my image. See how it zooms in, kind of zooms down to the bottom corner. So when you double click the image and you go to animation, you can choose how you want it to move by choosing the start, then the end, and the program will make sure that it moves to make those changes happen. Something else you might be interested in knowing how to do in WeVideo is how to add transitions. It's important to note you can only add transitions to your main track. So see here, let's see if you can see, I have my first video, then it cuts to a second video, then it cuts to a third video. So again, if I play this, see how it's kind of like it cuts really abruptly. Maybe I want to make that more smooth. What I can do is I can click on my transitions tab up here, and I can choose the kind of transition I want. I'm just going to do a simple crossfade. And I can drag that crossfade and drop it in between the tracks. So this was too short. So what I'm going to do is make this a little bit longer because it doesn't even have enough room to actually apply the transition. Let's try it now. Should work now. There we go. So now when I click play, it's not just going to like abruptly cut from one to the next. It's going to like fade into each other.
The first storms of autumn are a warning. A large part of his
You see how it was much smoother? And you can only, again, do that on the main track. If I had these three things on the video one track, I don't think that that would work. Another thing you might want to know how to do is, let's say, for example, I want to get rid of the audio. Like I have this video, I don't really want this like nature guy talking in my video. I want to get rid of that. I can click down here on Display Hide Audio Track, and it's going to show me the audio for the different video clips that I have. I can double click this, and I can go into volume, and I can just click mute on the volume level, and now when I click this, the audio is gone. I could do that for all of these, and now I wouldn't have any more volume. Now, if you know that you're not going to use any of the volume on anything that you put on this track, I can reduce the track's volume to 0 over here, and I wouldn't have to go into every clip separately. Now what I want to do is I want to add some music so that my video is a little bit more interesting. I'm going to take this music file here, I'm going to click it and drag it and drop it on my audio one track. So now, instead of the guy talking, I'm going to hear this music underneath my video. Much better, don't you think? Alright, and see how this music is very, very long? I again can go and, click and drag it, shorten it up a bit so that it doesn't take up the entire, I only want my video to be a few seconds long. There we go. So now it's going to be the same. The last thing I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to do is how to add text. So same as before, I can go up here and click on text. It's right next to the transitions tab. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you don't have your own music files, you can click on music up here, and WeVideo has tons of built-in music files that you can use royalty-free. Let's click on the text up here. I want to add some text. I want to do a subtitle. I'm going to put it up here. And then once you have a text box up here, you can double click it and choose text, and you can choose what you want it to say. So I wanted to say penguins. Click done, and now I'm going to make this cover up all the video where I have penguins. So when I go up here and click play, you see it says penguins on the screen. And that's how text works. Similar to images, you can actually add animations to text too. So if I wanted this penguins to be a little cooler, I could start it off the screen, then end it on the other side of the screen. And now it's going to, like, as I click play over here, it's going to like slide across the screen, which is a little bit more interesting. So that's, in a nutshell, a few different things that you can do in WeVideo. It's actually a pretty cool, even though it's free, it's a pretty cool video editing software that gives you lots of features. So hopefully that gets you started. Thanks for tuning in.